Welcome back to another episode of Two for the Road, and in this edition we're headed out to Fort McAllister State Park, and a quick look at the map you can see is just south of Savannah on the east coast of the state of Georgia. And we're camping with family from Vermont. After a 5-hour drive from Central Florida, we made it to the ranger station of the park. We had site number 15, and Mark and Ann had site number 16. All right, so we made it. We're in Georgia, our first stop of our trip. We're at Fort McAllister State Park. It is a Civil War preserved fort, and it's a all natural dirt mound type fort, and it's really freaking cool. I mean, we're right at the entrance of it, and just take a look at this. I'm going to show you around real quick, and then we'll show you around the campground. But here's the fort first. Here we go. You got some pits with spiked walls. I don't know what you call them. Look at it, goes all the way around the place. Look at that. And here's the mounds where you see there's indentations right there where it'd be gun mounts. And we're about to go inside the fort itself. And what do you see? Look at that. The mounds. Alright, so from what I understand, there was 600 troops stationed here, and it was an active fort during the Civil War, and it was actually under an attack. And what's amazing about the fort itself is it could take a beating because of being dirt mounds. During the night, the soldiers would rebuild these mounds and refortify the fort and be ready for action the next day, because Civil War was pretty much fought during the daylight hours. But I'm gonna walk over here. See, here's one of the cannon gun emplacements. It's facing out in the waters because this fort, of course, forts are designed to block and protect waterways and inlets. So here's a side entrance or exit from the mound where gunpowder and the shots would come out, and the soldiers would come out to, to start firing on a position. So there is the waterway they protected. And just to let you know, the ironclad ships fought here against this fort. I don't know if any of them were sunk here, but this is really neat. Let's go look at some more of this stuff here, because I think there's some of them where you can actually walk up inside. Take a look. So there's the first gun we were at.
Yeah, I see.
So they don't have, what, 2 guns sitting out here? No, this is not the other gun. There was a deck in front of it, wasn't there? Yeah, so there's 3 guns here. Just didn't see this when we went around. All right, so there you have it. A quick look around this natural mound fort with 3 guns in place, a hospital, and storage for munitions, and who knows what else. Now, as far as sleeping quarters, really didn't see any, so I imagine they probably had tents where they would sleep in tents here, probably on the property, or on the outside farther inland. There might have been some. Well, there's some 4 little cabins where the officers stayed in. I'll try to get a picture of that real quick as we exit back out. And then there's a lookout tower, which is no different than a fire lookout, like when you go into the national state parks. You know, you'll see those great big tall towers. There's something very similar to that as well. I'll try to get a picture of that here in the video as well. But very interesting. It was $22 for the two of us to come in here. At the time of this video recording, it takes about an hour to see all of it. And what's included right at the entrance is where the ranger station is. It's also part museum, where there's some rifles and some other artifacts on display. And there's a video that you can sit and watch for a few minutes on that for some facts.
That house right there?
And then there's a white home over here. Tammy's going to tell you about what that is.
That is the barracks.
Oh, that is the barracks. Okay, so that's where the soldiers slept. I thought maybe they would have been sleeping in the infield right here in small tents and surrounding the area. So let's go over and check out these things that I was talking about, and that'll conclude the tour of Fort McAllister fort itself. I thought it was really cool. I mean, because it's different than most forts that when you hear the term fort, you think of brick, stone, concrete, fortified. This one's pure earth with the inlays of wood and some stone in some cases. So let's go check out some of these other things I was talking about. Correction, the 4 cabins was for soldiers and the white building was for officers. Good morning. Wow, what an eventful day yesterday. So let's kind of recap that real quick. So we got here at 3:30 and the museum, or the fort rather, closes at 5, so we had to hurry up and set up and then run up there before they close, because it takes about an hour to go and see everything at the fort. So we got that done. We came back here, had dinner, and then next thing you know, it was time to turn in. So now I'm going to show you a tour of the park, because we were only staying here for one night because we are pushing onward to go to gorgeous state park in North Carolina. So let's take a look around the campsites, give you the information about that, and then we'll have to come back here and start packing up, because it's a 6-hour drive from here to gorgeous state park. Okay, some information on the campsites. There are 65 to choose from. 13 of them are for tent only, and 17 sites are full hookup, meaning they have 30-50 amp electric, water, and sewer. The remaining sites are water and electric only. There is a dump station on the premises. The park also has 5 very short trails you can explore, and to do all 5 trails will bring you the total of 3.1 miles. Looking for an alternate way to stay here at the park? The park has 7 stilted cottages to choose from. They overlook the marsh.
Yeah.
So they're stilted, so if it floods, they'll be high and dry.
Yeah, and there's 2 of them on each one, so.
Yeah. Here's the bat house.
Yeah.
You have a really nice little screened in group shelter. Has a couple of picnic tables inside. There's some picnic tables on the outside and a large charcoal grill to cook. And here's something I seen when we pulled up, and I thought I wanted to share this with you, because this will be a hit with adults and the children, which we did not have the opportunity to mess around with this. But oh, it seems to be out of order. So what it is a zip line, and it goes back and forth on this rail, and you sit down on it or hang on it, but it's missing. The rail system, everything's here, but the part you sit on is gone. Ah, that's too bad. Apparently somebody must have been too heavy for it possibly and broke it. Well, anyway, here's this area down here by the boat ramp. You got some canoe rentals, and they got pontoon rentals, and you got a fishing pier down here, and check out that sun rising over there. And you got another group shelter. Here, let's get past the sun here so you can see it. There, is that better? There's the other group shelter. Let's get back to the camping loop and go check out those tent sites. This is Site 58. Then you have a tent pad, picnic table, a lantern hanger, fire pit with ability to cook on it. It does have electric and water. You are allowed to have one tent, I believe, is the rules here. And if I am wrong, I will make correction in the video. But just look how nice the area is, nice and wooded, lots of shade. It's very early in the morning, so I'm talking real low because, you know, voices carry through tents, so I'm going to keep it very low right here. Alright guys, here's the entrance to the campground. It is called Savage Island because the campground is technically an island. So let's go down Savage Loop. We are in Site 15 and 16. From what I could tell, and I'll have to verify on the map, it seems like all of the RV sites are pull-through. And I believe all RV sites are full hookup, meaning there's electric, water, and sewer. So that's interesting. Now, you can purchase firewood at the ranger station when you check in, or you can purchase it from the camp host, which is in campsite number 1 of the campsite, which is very nice and convenient. So you have to backtrack all the way back to the ranger station if you had forgot it. All right, so here is campsite number 4. And you can see this is on the outside of the loop. You have a lot of room, folks, in between you and the neighboring sites. You got some nice natural wooded area in your living area, and then behind that, as you can see through, I don't know if you can, but it starts to the wet marsh. There are 3 camp host sites in this park. So basically 2 of them are off duty, 1 is on duty, and they rotate. So here's site number 6. And you can get big rigged in these sites. Here is host number 3. And they are off duty currently. Okay, up ahead is our site right here on the right. Site number 15. And so in case you were wondering if you can get a big rig into this park, the answer is yes. You just got to be careful and watch the trees as you're going around curves. We had the RV get within a foot, taking as much room as we could, get around some of these trees, but it came close, and Uncle Mark did mention that he was a little nervous that watching me go around it because he followed us in, but we got in here no problem. So yeah, big rig friendly. You know, our rig is 41 feet if you've never watched our channel before. So this is an outside site. Picnic table, lantern hanger, fire pit with a ring. I mean, with the ability to cook on it. The wooded area backing up to the marsh behind it. And our exit of our loop also shares with the entrance of site number 16, which is Mark and Ann's site. There you go. Really nice little park. So that concludes the tour around the campground. You know, like I said, I don't show all the campsites. It's just to give you a general idea if you want to come here. All right, it's time for us to push on to the next park. We hope you enjoyed the tour of Fort McAllister State Park. You should subscribe to our channel. You'll never know, we may be guilty of adding to your bucket list. And as always, thanks for watching. Two for the road.